Hello everybody and welcome back to the vlog. My name is Will Ellington and I'm coming to you from Osaka in Japan. A couple of years ago on this YouTube channel I made a video called how to set up a free domain, free hosting and WordPress in 15 minutes. As part of that video I recommended using a website called freenom.com. They provide free domain names and back then at the time I made it, it was completely legit, no problems at all. I recently revisited Freenom and I've been following a discussion on Reddit where people have been complaining about problems with this website. The sign up process is not working, they can't get the domains are cancelled or withdrawn after a little while, etc, etc. So in this video today I thought I'd make an update. I thought I'd give you a different way of doing the same thing. Get a free domain, get free hosting and get a WordPress blog in just 15 minutes, but not using Freenom. Instead, I'm going to use a company called Planet Hoster. This is a reputable web hosting company based in France and Canada, and they offer a whole range of hosting services, one of which we're going to use today in this tutorial. It's called Free Web Hosting World Lite. Bit of a mouthful, but we're going to check that package out and see what it can do for us. I've made a menu for today's video. Let's just have a look at that right away and then we'll get into it. Number one, what's the takeaway? We'll start there. What can you get from this tutorial? Number two, why would you even want a free domain, hosting and WordPress? Let's think about that. Number three, how do you actually get the domain and the hosting? Very easy, we'll go through that. Four, how to install WordPress, even easier. And five, how to log into WordPress. And we'll finish there. All right, let's get to it. Number one, what's the takeaway? Well, if you follow my tutorial now, you'll leave at the end with three things. You'll get a web hosting package, which is World Lite from Planet Hoster. Let's take a quick look at what that is. These are the features of that hosting package. You get 750 megabytes of disk space. You get 2 file transfer protocol accounts, FTP. FTP is it's an app or a piece of software that communicates between your computer, your hard drive, the files on your computer, and your hosting in the cloud. You get 2 email accounts. You get 2 MySQL databases. Those are necessary to run WordPress. You get 2 subdomains, 2 parked domains, so you can host 2 domain names on this account. You get community support from the forums. That's important. You don't get dedicated support with this free package. So if you have any problems, you have to go via the forums and hope someone can help you out. That's a really big issue. You can choose which data center you want, either in France or Canada. France for Europe facing websites or customer bases, Canada for North America facing. But if you're elsewhere in the world, it doesn't really matter. It's up to you. SSL for certificates, those are really cool. Those are security certificates for websites that are crucial these days. You see the little lock icon here in my browser? That's an SSL certificate for this website. If you don't have one of those, you're going to turn off a whole lot of potential visitors. CMS scripts installer, that's going to be our WordPress installation installer, site builder and PHP. Okay, so at a glance, those are the key features of this free hosting package. What does this translate to? What does it equate to in real terms? It means that you can run a small website, a personal blog or something like that, something that's not going to be resource intensive, not going to have a huge audience, that kind of thing. So something very, very small. 750 megabytes disk space is minimal. So you'd want to keep it sort of photos only in terms of material you're uploading to your blog. You definitely wouldn't want to start hosting video with this. Also, they don't mention the bandwidth or how much traffic you're allowed when you host a site with them, with this package. And I'm guessing it's not written, so I'm guessing therefore it's minimal. If you start attracting a large audience to your blog or your website with this package, you're probably going to get a bottleneck, a throttling problem. So they're going to probably ask you to upgrade to a paid option. And they have a number of paid solutions. Of course, at that point, if you reach that point, you could opt to upgrade with them, or you could go to a completely different web hosting company. These guys, Planet Hoster, they offer a €6, which is about $6 to $7 per month for an unlimited hosting option, which would solve all the problems I've just mentioned. So that's Planet Hoster, but of course, you would want to do your homework at that point and figure out which hosting company is best for you. Anyway, let's not get lost there. Let's come back to our menu. What would you use, number 2? What would you use this setup for? Two potential scenarios. One, you're new to self-hosted WordPress and you want to give it a try before going ahead and paying the money for hosting and a domain. So you don't want to fork out the money up front. You just want to experiment, give it a try, a bit like a sandbox. This setup I'm talking about today is perfect for that. The second scenario is somebody wanting to start a small site, starting small and then growing. So as I said, if you start to grow your site, then later you can switch to a paid option, no problem. That's very easy to do. And you don't have to lock into Planet Hoster. You can transfer your files and whatever you've set up to another web host. Usually most web hosts help you to migrate. They'll do that work for you. Okay, so that's who it's for, really. I wouldn't start a professional business with this setup. It's just the resources are just not there. After all, this is free. So treat this like as an experiment, kind of experimental base, that sort of thing. All right, so let's get into number 3. How do you get the domain and the hosting? Well, I'll put the link to this page in the description on the YouTube video. So you want to go here to the Worldline package, scroll down to the bottom, choose which data center, France or Canada. I'm going to go with Canada for the sake of it. Then you're going to find a domain name. And here's another restriction with this setup. If you want a free domain name with Planet Hoster, you are going to be restricted to these pretty obscure .fr, .lu, .france, .luxembourg domain names. So yeah, as I said, not ideal for starting a proper website or business. You could opt to go with their free package, hosting package, and buy a domain name elsewhere, GoDaddy or whatever you want, Namecheap. There are tons of options for that. You could do that and then connect the two accounts. But I think it makes sense just to experiment with a free domain. So I've typed in Will Ellington, my name, and I'm going to go with this one, .yj.lu. So once you choose your domain name, you choose the suffix and the data center, click the search button. The domain name is not available. Okay, let's try another extension. This one is available. Okay, fair enough. So we'll go with .go.zd.fr. All right. By the way, what's the disadvantage of these suffixes? The disadvantage is, one, these are related to France and Luxembourg, and I'm not in France or Luxembourg, I'm in Japan. Two, they're obscure domain suffixes. Nobody knows these. Nobody's going to remember. To be honest, in any case, few people today are going to remember your domain name as it is. But nonetheless, a .com, a .net, a .org is going to be much easier to deal with, right? But as I said before, that's part of buying into the whole website thing. So yeah, that's something to do down the line. All right. So once you choose that, you fill in your details, your name, your email, make a password, enter an address. You need to provide a correct address or this will not work. But as I said before, Planet Hoster has a very good reputation and standing online, so they're not going to play around with your data. They're trustworthy. You can do the due diligence yourself, read reviews about them, and so on and so on, if you don't, before you put in your details. Make sure you add a correct phone number, because they're going to, in the next step, they will send you a code via text message. A lot of websites do that these days, Google, Amazon, and so on, to log in, right? Two-step verifications. Yeah, they're going to send you a text message, a code that you have to type in. I'm not going to do that. I've already made an account. I've already set up a domain name, but that's all it takes. Fill out these details, click that I've read and agreed to the terms, read the terms, check it out for yourself. click I'm not a robot and then submit. The next screen, they'll show you a little box saying, please add the code we sent you by text message. All right. So once you've done that and put in the code, you'll then be transported to the following screen. Okay, you should land on this account page. It's My Services. You will be logged into your Planet Hoster account that you just made and verified via text message. And you'll be on the My Services page under My Hostings. This is what you've just signed up for. And you can see this is my version here. I've got the domain name I made, the registration date. I chose Canada Data Center. The type of account, it's free and it's active. On the right here, you have login details. You can change your password. Your username stays as it is. And what we want is to click on World Panel. Click on this. It's going to take you to your hosting panel. Here you can manipulate everything about your hosting account. Okay. So we're going to install WordPress, and that was so we've completed number 3. Number 4, how to install WordPress. Very easy. Go down to CMS applications, click on NOCWP. You won't see this. I've done this already. You'll get nothing here. All you're going to do is click create, and you're going to fill in these fields. Add an admin username, a password, whatever you want. Change the language to English. Choose the domain name you just made at sign up. And then give a blog title, whatever you want to call your blog. Add your name and then your admin email. Your name it's up to you what you want to call yourself. You don't have to put your real name there. Make sure you click use HTTPS. That's very important because that will engage the security certificate, this little lock symbol. So that will make your WordPress site secure. So click that. And then when you've done all that, click create, and it will automatically install WordPress, and you'll see a screen like this. And once that's done, you're ready to go to the final step, which is log into WordPress. And all you do is go here to this icon, log in, click on this. It may take a minute, a few seconds, and it will launch. It will log in straight into your WordPress for you. Here we go. I'm on my WordPress dashboard, and from here I can now start manipulating my blog. I can also see what it looks like. Right now it's just the default WordPress theme. Nothing's installed, nothing's configured. But that's it, basically. That's how to get a free hosting package with Planet Hoster, a free domain name, and install WordPress. And looking at the clock, it's still under 15 minutes. So if you followed these steps, hopefully it worked for you. What I would recommend on the web panel, admin panel for your web hosting, all we did today was look at CMS/applications, but I recommend playing around with all the different options, get a sense of what you can do with the admin panel, and yeah, treat this like an experiment. And later on, when you're ready to actually go for a fully fledged website and actually pay the money, then you'll have a much better idea of what you're dealing with. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if it was. If you have any suggestions for other things you'd like me to look at or explain or do tutorials about, feel free to hit me up on social media. If you like the video and you want to see more stuff like this, as most YouTubers will tell you, like and subscribe. Hit that that subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Sayonara.